I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Lynn.
And this is a Kickstarter preview and tutorial to Arcade Inc. So Arcade Inc. is a game by Avalon McNary. It's over here on the bottom of the box. And it is put out by Orcs Unlimited Games, or it will be, because this game's about to be going on Kickstarter. The current plan is September 30th of 2019. It will be up on Kickstarter, so do look for it there. Now, we found out about this game because we signed up for an event to play it at Gen Con. And the reason we signed up was because I saw it in the games list, and I have a huge nostalgia soft spot for things about video game arcades because I grew up in arcades. And I was like, oh, Lynn, there's a game, an upcoming game they're playing at Gen Con this year about making arcades. Can we play it? And Lynn was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. And it was really fun. So we went and played it. And we were talking to them afterwards because we recorded it and we put up a demo about it. And they decided to send us a copy to do this preview video with and to play it some more. So thank you to Orcs Unlimited Games for sending us this preview copy. Now this game, let's see, do they have a current listing of all the specs on it?
On the back, 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, approximate playtime 30 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, this is a pretty quick game.
Well, I remember we played it twice, didn't we? We played it once, and then we were like, "Oh, let's play it again because we have time."
and that was at I think four players.
4 players.
We played that was at Gen Con. We played it twice at 4 players. It was really quick. We played it a number of times at 2 players since we brought it home, and actually, I think it plays just as well at 2 players. I kind of like it as a heads-up game. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have a little bit of take that in this. It's a bit of a set collecting card game with some take that cards. Would you think that'd be appropriate?
Yeah.
So, but no, it plays well at all the different player counts. 30 minutes is, I mean, the time will vary a little bit based on the number of players you have, but 30 minutes is probably a good average. I mean, if you have like 6 players, it's going to go a bit longer, of course. Yeah. And 2 players is quicker, actually. I think 2 players we've gotten down to like 15 minutes, maybe. Mm-hmm. So. We're not going to show the pre-production components because they're all subject to change. We're just going to jump right into the tutorial portion. And then once we're done showing you how to play this game, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels. And we're going to talk about who we would recommend should back this Kickstarter. Okay, so here we are with a shuffled up deck of Arcade Inc. and all of the meeples representing the people who want to attend your arcade out on the table. Now we're going to be playing with the optional rule that we're aware will be included in the final game, the one that we suggested, of a draw. So since we're playing a 2-player game of Arcade Inc., we're going to have a draw of 3 cards because the current way it's working is it is the number of players plus 1. So Lynn, would you put out a draw of 3 cards? So now if any of them are a yellow card, which one was, we'll just immediately discard that and replace it. Okay, so then we're each going to get 4 cards. Again, also if any of them are yellow, we're going to immediately discard them and replace it. So Lynn, go ahead and deal us out 4 cards each. Okay, I did not get any yellows, did you?
No.
Okay, so Lynn's going to be going first, so and we're going to be building our arcades here. So now, for your turn, the first thing that you do on your turn is you draw up to your full 4-card hand. But obviously, as we've both started with a full 4-card hand, there is no need to draw up. So then you're able to take 2 actions. Now, possible actions are to play a card face up into your arcade here, or to put a meeple onto a card you already have in your arcade, or to discard your entire hand and redraw a full hand of 4 cards. It's got to be your whole hand though. And you get 2 actions on your turn, and then it is the next player's turn. When drawing, if you draw any yellow cards, you immediately do the event that happens on the yellow card, and then you move keep drawing until you're back up to your full 4-card hand. It does not count as one of your cards. Now, for the draw, the way we've been playing it right now is that if you draw up a yellow event card for the draw when replacing the 3 cards in the draw for a 2-player game, or more if you were playing more players, you would again immediately do that event and then discard it and replace the draw. When drawing cards, you can either draw face-up cards from the market over here or face-down random cards from the top of the deck. All right, so Lynn, why don't you start us off?
I'm going to play Toad Hop, and my second action is going to be to put a red meeple on it.
Okay, so Toad Hop, huh? All right, I'm going to play two copies of Plumber Guy, good old Plumber Guy, into my arcade as my 2 actions, and then I'm going to be done.
Okay, I'm going to draw from the draw pile.
Okay, and then we replace, she drew from the market, so we replaced it from the deck there.
No, the market. I couldn't remember the name of it. I don't know why.
Well, I think we're just calling it the market.
Yeah.
They can call it whatever they like, of course, when they finish.
And then I'm going to play Don't Even Try, and then I'm going to upgrade it.
Oh, so that is one of those claw machines, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Lynn's got an upgraded claw machine in her arcade there. Now, I've got 2 draws I need to do. So I'm going to draw one from the market here. I'm going to grab a different claw machine called Grab a Plush and replace it. And I'm going to grab one from the top of the deck here. So for my turn, I'm going to play Grab a Plush and upgrade it also. So my prize machine is upgraded as well.
Okay, I'm going to fill up my hand from
Top of the
deck. And then I'm going to, my 2 actions are, I'm going to put 2 green meeples on Don't Even Try.
Okay, I'm going to draw also from the top of the deck. Now I got, malfunction. All players lose a red machine and the attached meeples. Ooh, I gotta lose one of my plumber guys. That stinks. And I'm going to, for my first action, I'm gonna add a green meeple to my Grab a Plush, and for my second action, I'm going to out of order your prize machine over there.
That's mean.
So it is out of order, and you lose all the meeples on it. Of course, unless you had a repair.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm going to play Just Kill It, and along with an upgrade.
Okay, so I'm going to, let's see here.
You have to draw.
Yeah, I know. I'm deciding if I want Chomp Guy or not. I'm gonna take Chomp Guy. I do want Chomp Guy. And so on my turn for my actions, I'm gonna play a red meeple onto Plumber Guy and a second green meeple onto the upgraded prize machine, because when you have an upgrade, you are allowed to get a second meeple on that machine.
I'm gonna draw 2 from the pile. Ooh, Birthday Party. All players remove all out of order cards.
Oh, lucky you.
And then I'm going to put...
Oh, don't forget, you get to keep drawing up to your 4-card hand. That didn't count as a card.
I forget about that. I'm going to take this shooter machine upgrade.
Okay.
And then for my actions, I'm going to put 1 meeple on each machine.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm going to drop a Chomp Guy and a Not Rigged We Promise claw machine into my arcade for my 2 actions.
I'm going to drop a Ping along with an classic machine upgrade.
Okay, so I've got to do 2 draws here. I'm going to draw both from the top of the deck. I got Give Peace a Chance. All players lose a blue machine and attach meeples of their choice. Let me replace that because that does not count as one of mine. I'm going to classic machine upgrade Chomp Guy and add a meeple to him as my 2 actions.
I'm going to add 2 meeples to... Oh, I need to draw. Sorry. Getting ahead of myself.
These things happen.
I'm gonna add 2 red meeples to my ping machine.
Fair enough. I'm going to draw a random card. And, ooh, hello. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a upgrade to Not Rigged We Promise. And then I'm going to add a meeple to Not Rigged We Promise.
I'm going to play Mutant Uprising along with a shooter machine upgrade.
Okay, I'm going to draw a random. And I'm going to add a second red meeple to Chomp Guy. Now, this is how this game goes. You go back and forth. It's very quick. Regardless of how many players you have, it plays roughly the same. You're looking to add machines. You're looking to play out of orders on opponents' machines that have been, usually ones that have been upgraded to try to knock them out of commission. But if they have a repair card in their hand, which I had one, you could play it in response to that to stop them from doing it. Or if you picked one up later, you could play it to remove the out of order card from it. If you draw random yellow cards, you do exactly what they say. They do random effects. And then you discard them and you keep drawing it again until you have your 4-card hand. The first player to have 6 machines in their arcade, whether in order or out of order, will trigger the end of the game at the end of their turn. At the end of their turn, you add up points. So the points go as follows. You get 1 point for each meeple in your arcade. Then you check each color of meeple, and every player who has the most meeples of that color will get another point. So for instance, right now I have 3 red meeples in my arcade. If the game were to end right now, while Lynn has only 2 red meeples in her arcade, I would get a bonus point for red. Then, if you happen to have both in your arcade, the regular version of a machine, let's say Plumber Guy here, as well as the upgraded version of the machine, let's say the upgraded Plumber Guy, which is called Plumber Guy 2 Bigger Rats, according to the card, you get a bonus point for that as well. You add up all your points. Whoever has the most points wins the game of Arcade Inc. In the case of a tie, the player with the most upgrade cards would win the game. So there you have it. That's how you play a game of Arcade Inc. So now we're going to head back. We're going to talk about how this game plays and feels. And we're going to talk about who we would recommend should back this game on Kickstarter. Okay, so welcome back. That was how you play a game of Arcade Inc. So as you can see, it's a bit of set collecting. And there's some take that elements to it, you know, with the out of order cards. Now, as we referenced in our tutorial, we were playing with a rule that's going to be in the rules, in the final rules, as an optional rule because we had suggested it to the game designer.
You can see it.
Okay. So when we played it, we suggested to the game designer that she had a market, and she was very receptive, and she said she's going to add it in as an optional rule, and we've been corresponding with the company, and they said definitely it will be in as an optional rule. So we decided to play with it because since we got this copy, we've been playing it a bunch, and we only played it once without the optional rule. Since we started playing with the optional rule of having the market, we really like the optional rule. I think it really adds a whole extra strategic element of being able to pick at least some of the cards you want to take, or if you don't like any of the cards out in the market, then deciding to take a random one, but still gives you more of a choice, which I think is really cool. Okay. Let's go with our negatives and our positives. Do you have any negatives about this game right now?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a fairly quick, light game. I don't have any glaring negatives with it either. There's a few things that I think maybe overdevelopment might be cool to add in as optional rules also. But overall, basically, if I bought this game, I'd be totally happy with it right now. So, especially with the optional rule that we know they're adding in. Okay, so what about positives?
I like that turns are fairly quick because you don't really have a lot of options. It's just you either put a meeple on a machine that you already have out, or you put out machines.
Or you out of order somebody.
Yeah, and it's just, you have, 4 cards and limited things that you can do, so people tend to not sit there forever agonizing over what they should do. They just kind of do the easiest thing.
It's almost difficult to get analysis paralysis in this.
Yeah.
It definitely plays fast. And after playing it once or twice, it's even faster. It's a very quick. It's definitely what I would call an icebreaker game. It's one of those, first game on game night, Good game to introduce new people to modern gaming styles too. But also at the same time, it's got that wonderful nostalgia button effect with the old school arcade stuff. So like it has this way of pleasing older gamers who usually like heavier games anyway, and newer gamers who like lighter games, kind of at the same time, but for different reasons. Because one is for the nostalgia effect, and the other is for how light and fast and accessible this game is. And it is, like you were saying, it's very quick, very quick. So you were saying the speed of it is a big positive for you. I like. There's an interesting effect that happens in this game where you're deciding on whether you want to get meeples or whether you want to play cards. Because you can play more cards, and more cards out of your hand will mean you'll get to draw more cards next turn. But the cards aren't worth anything without meeples on them, which is this interesting dynamic. So then when you put the meeples on, if you spend your whole turn putting meeples on stuff, but you're not getting new cards. And it's kind of an interesting dynamic. I find it really, really pretty fascinating. They could definitely play with it a little more if they wanted to mess with some of like the yellow cards in there, have them have effects that affect things one way or another. But already there are some cards that kind of play on that, because like the out of order card, you're not going to play an out of order card on a machine that's got no meeples on it. It's kind of a waste. You're waiting for them to put the meeples. Like, all right, are you going to put meeples on the card? Because one out of, I want one out of order, So there is already that, and then maybe by the time they put the meeples on you out of order, they drew a repair card, and they counter it by just dropping the repair. So but the game's fun. It's definitely fun. So who would we recommend this to? What do you think? I'm going to say first, if you have a big like nostalgia hole in your heart for the old arcade days of the 80s and early 90s, like I do, this is really great for that. I love that all the cards are references to actual old arcade games. They've got Plumber Guy, which is obviously Mario Brothers. They've got
Ping is supposed to be Pong.
Ping is Pong, yes. That's a good one. They've got one. There's one for Frogger, right?
Yeah, it was Toad Guy.
Yeah, there's also
something like that.
There's a Chomp Guy who's Pac-Man. They have funny names for the claw machines, which because those were never winnable. So they have ones they're called things like not rigged, we promise, and don't even try, and then like the shooting games, they have ones that are references to various shooting games like House of the Dead or Area 51. There's an Aliens one. But yeah, I think the nostalgic effect is huge in this. So if you are a gamer and you have game nights with people that aren't as hardcore gamer, much of a hardcore gamer as you, and you're looking for a good lighter game to introduce other people to, and you also have that nostalgic hole in your heart for the old arcades, this game is great. This is gonna fill that gap, fill that hole for you. It's like you're gonna spackle it up. It's great. I mean, I really feel like that for me. What about you? What do you think? Is there anyone else you would recommend this game to?
I think it's good for, well, they say, 8 and up? Yeah. I mean, I think an 8-year-old or any 8-year-old could handle it.
So you're saying family weight then?
Yeah.
So you think this is this would be a good game to recommend to families as well?
Yeah.
So there you have it. Families, people who have the nostalgic itch for the old arcades, people who are looking to help introduce other people. There's actually, we can recommend this to a wide variety of people. And it really is one of those games where it's like, I could recommend this to almost anybody. I mean, that's weird because those three groups just about cover almost anybody that might buy a game. Yeah. Okay, so if you're watching this, we recommend this game to you. Right?
Yeah.
There you have it. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns on Arcade Inc. or on this video, be sure to put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this preview and tutorial video, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.